Well, there is a Marcel Sabitzer injury blow again at the international break. It had gone well for Manchester United. None of our players were injured apart from Luke Shaw, who was really sent over the game of Italy and is returning to Carrington this week to train with the first team of United. But Sabitzer looks like, as they head to play against Estonia today, he is really a doubt, as confirmed to us by the national team manager known as Ralf Rangnick, formerly the interim manager at Manchester United. Welcome to United Matters channel. Min-jae to Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano has dropped another hint of the South Korean defender who is really tearing up the Serie A under Napoli. And lastly, Rafael Varane has a lot of concern on the number of games that are being played by players in this era. So smash the like button, comment and share. Rokan David is my name. How have you been, guys? First video of the day, and I think we are here to bring you more of the tea that you guys deserve. Now, the manager of Austria, that is Ralf Rangnick, has gone ahead and issued an update as far as Marcel Sabitzer is concerned. He has told us that, of course, we hope that Marcel Sabitzer will do well, especially after the first game in Linz. At the moment, I'm optimistic that it can work, but at the end of the day, it's all a question of whether he feels ready for it himself. At the moment, I'm assuming he'll play. So, it's not all that a worrying update, because if at all the manager is really assuming that he'll play, that gives us a little bit of a gap of hope, because there is no gulf between him playing and not playing. So let's wait and see how that's going to unfold. But to me, I see this as something that is really so much bothering to my mind for a player who has not been injury prone. You know, he missed out on the game of Rio Betis. He missed out on the game of Southampton. He missed out on like 2-3 games of Manchester United, games where I would have expected him to be playing alongside Casemiro and didn't play. So I think he's not giving himself a chance. I thought that he would have been getting a run of games in the game of Newcastle, Brentford and Everton. Those 3 games that Casemiro is going to be away. He would have gone ahead to play very well alongside Fredo Scott McTominay in that double pivot of Manchester United to really get at the results that we deserve as a club of Manchester United. But all in all, it shows you how ugly it's getting for Manchester United. And the midfield problems they're really having are huge. Amidst the return of Eriksen, you wouldn't like to miss out on Sabitzer, because Sabitzer gets you goals, he gets you the intensity, he's relentless, he gets you those assists, press resistant, gives you control of the game. He offers a lot to the game, and you would love to see Sabitzer, Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes on the same page, because you'll know that that game is in your hands and you're having very many game winners, all of them being captains. You know, Bruno, when Ronaldo is out, is the captain of Portugal. Right now, he's captaining Manchester United. Though Harry Maguire came out and said that he really feels his influence has not been lost at Manchester United, yet the fact is his influence is no more at Manchester United. Then when you look at Casemiro, captain of Brazil, Eriksen, captain of Denmark. So we are having a vast variety of captains. So you know what it means when you're having players with a captain mind in them. They really force a win, come rain, come sunshine. And for Sabitzer, you really feel for him. When he returned, he played and really scored against. When he came back, when he returned and played his full 90 minutes, I think he scored against Fulham. Then he scored a brace when they are playing against Latvia in the midweek, and even created 1 goal. So he had put himself in a better position to convince Erik ten Hag that I'm really in shape to come in and play. But all my prayers are on Sabitzer to see him come in and be the future for the team of Manchester United, fully fit. We want to see him fit. I want to see Erik ten Hag on Friday this week doing what we call the pre-match press conference confirming to us that Sabitzer is 100% fit and ready to go to face a side known as Newcastle at St. James's Park. Because it's really worrying. You cannot trust Eriksen because he has been out for so long, 3 months, not playing football. You cannot just dump him or throw him into a game of Newcastle to start. Even if he's going to be available and fully fit, you just expect him to come off the bench and give you some good 20 or 25 minutes. So we need Sabitzer, because if Sabitzer is away, that means we are left with only Scott McTominay and Fred to play in that double pivot. So that is really so much worrying. You wouldn't like to find our team so much depleted like that and really miss out on such good players. So let's trust Rangnick and see when Austria is going to be playing against Estonia. Is it Estonia? Right, tonight, and then we'll see whether Sabitzer will be named, because the game is going to be played at 21:45 hours, and we are going to be here waiting to see whether he's going to be named. When he's named, then that will send us to jubilation, because we need our man fully fit for the game of Newcastle, and we want him fit to play that game of Newcastle, as Casemiro will be preparing his return. We are having Newcastle, we are having Brentford and Everton. Those 3 games without Casemiro, you can't risk to go into those games without Sabitzer. I know Erik ten Hag has shown us that he's a genius. He can really peruse through or brave through any hardships or any hurdles, but I wouldn't like to see my manager into such a situation as Brock and David. I would like to see him in a better situation that can get us to the levels of really winning these beautiful games of football. Let's go to Min-jae. He's a defender that United has always been chasing in for, and Erik ten Hag is an admirer of the player. Now, as it stands, Fabrizio Romano has dropped a hint about Min-jae. He has told us that Manchester United, among many clubs monitoring Napoli centre-back Min-jae, he has a release clause which is slightly less than 50 million euros, which is going to be valid for a few days in July this summer. Napoli are trying to offer him a new contract. Now, yesterday I brought you a story of Min-jae. When he was asked about his move away from Napoli to Manchester United or any other team, he said that he's so much concentrated onto on what his team is going through, like competing in every tournament they are in, the Serie A, the Champions League, and he called his links to Manchester United and very many other teams really nonsense. And this is where I come in through and really pose a question to Min-jae. If at all you want to stay at Napoli, why have you taken all this long to really put pen to paper on the contract that is already on the table and Napoli is trying to convince you? You get? And you 100% know that you are having a release clause of 45 million euros in the first 2 weeks of June. That means you're anticipating a move away from Napoli. That's why you've not yet put pen to paper. And if I told him Min-jae, I would have borrowed some lines coming in from people like Pedri, Frankie de Jong, that you never know what the future is going to bring. But I'm happy at Napoli. I think that would have been the best line to be put out by Min-jae, but I think it was naive of him to call it nonsense. It's not nonsense, because if it was nonsense, why don't you put pen to paper on the contract that Napoli has already proposed to you on your table? If we are happy at Napoli, that means you could easily go ahead and really go on and really put pen to paper. And if at all you were taking your time to put pen to paper, and this 2 weeks buyout clause of 45 million euros was not existing, then would have got understood. But because that clause in July is really open, that's why you are taking your time to go ahead and really do all this. According to me, you are doing this because you know that you have all the time to spend. That's it. You have all the time to spend to see to it that you can really force a move away from Napoli. But Min-jae is a very good defender that if at all we get him at Manchester United, it will be a gift. But for me, the positive I'm getting out of this is that there's a variety of players to look at in the central defense position. Julian Timber, Min-jae, there is Akzo Disasi, you get? So we are having a variety of central defenders to look at, and all of them are really elite. So I believe you're not going to be short of our targets. We're not going to be short of talent. So I think whoever of those three that comes in throughout Manchester United will get the job done and dusted. But Min-jae look like he wants a move. And trust me, there is no player playing the Italian Serie A who is going to be left the same when a team like Manchester United is in for you. You know, you'll even be having sleepless nights. You'll be dreaming playing at Manchester United. You get? So when you look at how United is performing and really thriving and going through, you would love to come in at Manchester United. And obviously, Varane is not going to scare you because he's a very good player, world-class proven, but he's injury prone. That means you'll be guaranteed playing time. The other player that plays on the right side of the central defense is Harry Maguire, the captain of Manchester United, who threatened Julian Timber from coming to Manchester United. But Erik ten Hag has shown us that he can bench him. So green light has already been given to every player that wants to come in and play at the right position of the central defense of Manchester United, because Ten Hag has already created that space and vacuum is there, because Harry Maguire might find himself out of the club of Manchester United. Now, Rafael Varane has gone ahead and addressed his concern of how the fixtures are really tight, coming in thick and fast, and it's going to affect the careers of the players. He said the calendar is already more than full, the players are overworked, and it's going to be even worse. I'm afraid we are going to see much more shorter careers, because physically or mentally what we are asking for today is simply beyond the limits. And to me, I think this is caused because of teams not having fully fit squads. Because if at all you're really having a fully fit squad, there is no way you tell me that it's an issue. Like for Manchester United, if you're playing close to 60 games a season, if you're playing 60 games a season and you're having players that can compete favorably in each position, that means every player is going to be getting a share of playing time. So to me, I'm not a believer in what is being sold to players that they shouldn't be playing every game. Look at Bruno Fernandes. Ever since he came in at Manchester United in 2020, he has been playing literally every game. Yesterday, he played for Portugal, and he had played for them on Thursday. I don't buy that narrative. To me, I think it all goes back to how a player really maintains his body, how he rests his body, how he reconditions, how he charges his body to be in a perfect shape. Look at Ronaldo. Ronaldo has been that kind of player that for the previous 10 years, even 15 years, he has been playing an average of 60 games a season. But he's still the same kind of player. So it goes all back to how you maintain your body, not on whether these games are too many or not. It's all about these players to know that they are supposed to be playing an average of 50 games a season or 60. So how do you put yourself in a position to find your body ready to play those games and obviously carry on the next season? So I think that goes out to players who are really lifeists, who really don't want to rest enough. And I think Varane has an issue in it, but it also goes back to the players. What do you do when you are not playing the game of football? Do you rest enough? Do you recondition? You get? Do you recharge your batteries? And how do you maintain your body? It all goes back to that. So guys, thank you for watching in through first video of the day. Tell me your thoughts about Sabitzer being injured at the international duty, but there is hope of him playing tonight. If at all he plays tonight, then we'll be happy to see him return and play for Manchester United, though it's not all that serious, but it's a knee injury. Then Min-jae to Manchester United, do you think we are going to sign him, yes or no? And Varane issuing his concerns onto the fixtures being thick and fast. that players are overworked, and it's going to really cut short the careers of certain players. So, Rokan David remains my name. Muslims, happy Ramadan. Enjoy your 40 days of fasting. And the Christians, may the Almighty God bless you abundantly as you head into Easter, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I'm out.